Imagine an island smaller than West Virginia that produces more than 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. An island that sits on one of the busiest shipping lanes on Earth. An island that China claims as its own, yet has never been able to take. This is Taiwan. On paper, it looks small and vulnerable. In reality, it is one of the most strategically important places on the planet. If it falls, the global economy could collapse overnight. And right now, the world is quietly preparing for exactly that possibility.
Taiwan is a place of striking contrasts. A small mountainous island of just 23 million people located only 180 kilometers from mainland China. From its rugged central mountain range, home to peaks higher than any in Japan or South Korea, to its bustling high-tech cities, Taiwan feels both ancient and futuristic at the same time. It is one of the most densely populated and technologically advanced societies on Earth. Its semiconductor industry, led by the company TSMC, is not just important, it is irreplaceable. Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors, and more than 90% of the most advanced ones used in cutting-edge technology. Almost every modern device you use, from iPhones and laptops to fighter jets, artificial intelligence systems, and data centers, depends on chips made in Taiwan. In many cases, there is simply no alternative. This tiny island has become the most critical link in the global technology supply chain. Geographically, Taiwan sits at the very heart of the first island chain, the natural barrier of islands that stretches from Japan to the Philippines. This position makes it the most important strategic choke point, preventing China's navy from easily breaking out into the open waters of the Pacific. Despite its small size, Taiwan maintains a highly capable military focused on asymmetric defense. It is a vibrant democracy, with one of the highest standards of living in Asia, a place where cutting-edge technology and ancient temples exist side by side. Taiwan may look small on the map, but in reality, it is one of the most strategically, economically, and technologically important places on the planet. The story of Taiwan is far more complicated than most people realize. Long before any outsider arrived, this island was home to diverse indigenous Austronesian peoples who had lived here for thousands of years. They fished its waters, hunted in its mountains, and developed rich, unique cultures. In the 17th century, European powers arrived. The Dutch established a colony in the south, building Fort Zeelandia as their stronghold. Not long after, the Spanish tried to gain a foothold in the north. Then came waves of Chinese immigrants, mostly from Fujian province, fleeing chaos and seeking new opportunities on the island. By the late 17th century, the Qing dynasty of China defeated the last Ming loyalist forces and incorporated Taiwan into the Chinese Empire. For the next 2 centuries, Han Chinese settlers continued to arrive, pushing inland and gradually changing the demographic makeup of the island.
Even short of kinetic war, an economic and technological blockade could trigger a global recession. Experts estimate that a serious conflict over Taiwan could cause immediate losses measured in trillions of dollars and disrupt supply chains for years. Of course, a peaceful resolution is still possible through careful diplomacy, deterrence, and international pressure. But the status quo is becoming increasingly unstable. Tensions continue to rise with every new military exercise and political statement. The question is no longer whether tensions will rise, but how high they will go and whether the world is truly prepared for what comes next. Taiwan is much more than just an island. It is a technological superpower that the entire modern world depends on. It is a strategic fortress that holds the balance of power in the Western Pacific. And it is a vibrant democracy and a symbol of resilience, a place where people refuse to give up their freedom despite constant pressure. China wants it, the world needs it, and the people of Taiwan are determined to keep it free. The story of Taiwan is not just about one small island in the Pacific. It is about the future of global power, technology, and freedom in the 21st century. Whatever happens next, the world will never be the same. Do you think Taiwan can remain free? Or is conflict with China inevitable? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. I really read every single one. If you love real, hidden stories about power, strategy, and the forces shaping our world, smash that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one. In 1895, after defeating China in the First Sino-Japanese War, Japan took control of Taiwan. For the next 50 years, it was a Japanese colony. Japan modernized the island, built infrastructure, and exploited its resources, but also suppressed local identity. After Japan's defeat in World War II in 1945, Taiwan was returned to the Republic of China. Then came the decisive year, 1949, when the Communists won the Chinese Civil War on the mainland. Chiang Kai-shek and the nationalist government, along with over 1 million soldiers and civilians, retreated to Taiwan. They brought with them the government, the military, the gold reserves, and the claim to be the legitimate government of all China. From that moment on, Taiwan became the last stronghold of the Republic of China and the focal point of the unfinished Chinese Civil War that continues to shape the world to this day. Taiwan's real hidden power is not its military. It is something far more sophisticated and far more difficult to replace. TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, and its suppliers produce the most advanced semiconductors on the planet. These chips are so sophisticated that no other country or company can currently match them at scale. We're talking about 3 nanometer and soon 2 nanometer technology, the bleeding edge of human engineering. Almost every modern device you use depends on chips made in Taiwan. Smartphones, laptops, electric vehicles, artificial intelligence servers, medical equipment, and even advanced military systems, all of them rely on Taiwanese semiconductors. If Taiwan's chip production were suddenly taken offline, global supply chains would collapse within weeks. Experts estimate that a serious conflict over Taiwan could cause immediate global economic losses measured in trillions of dollars. The world has never been so dependent on one small island for such a critical technology. This is why many analysts call Taiwan the Silicon Shield. Its greatest deterrent is not its army or its missiles. It is the simple fact that the modern world cannot function without the chips made here. Taiwan may be small in size, but its technological power makes it one of the most important strategic assets on the planet. Strategically, Taiwan is much more than just an island. It is the cork in the bottle of the Western Pacific. It sits directly in the path of any Chinese attempt to break out from the coastal waters into the vast open Pacific. Whoever controls Taiwan controls the gateway between the South China Sea and the Pacific Ocean. This is why military planners call it the most important strategic real estate in the Indo-Pacific. The United States maintains a deliberate policy of strategic ambiguity. It does not formally promise to defend Taiwan, but it also does not rule out military intervention. This calculated uncertainty is designed to deter China while keeping flexibility. At the same time, the US, Japan, Australia, and other allies are quietly strengthening cooperation with Taiwan. Taiwan's defense strategy is built on the idea of porcupine defense, make the island so difficult and painful to swallow that any attacker would suffer unacceptable losses. A well-armed population, mobile missile systems, and advanced anti-ship weapons are all part of this plan. If China were to gain control of Taiwan, it would achieve dominance over the entire first island chain and gain a direct gateway to the Pacific. That is why this small island remains one of the most strategically vital places on Earth. China has never hidden its intentions regarding Taiwan. Beijing sees Taiwan as a core national interest and has never renounced the use of force to achieve reunification. For the Chinese Communist Party, regaining control over Taiwan is not just a territorial issue, it is a matter of historical destiny and national rejuvenation. On the other side, the United States, Japan, Australia, and several other democracies view a free and democratic Taiwan as essential to maintaining the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. They see Taiwan not only as a vibrant democracy, but as the front line of the rules-based international order. This fundamental disagreement has turned the narrow Taiwan Strait into one of the most dangerous flashpoints on the entire planet. Every year, Chinese military aircraft and ships conduct increasingly aggressive exercises around the island, testing Taiwan's defenses and international resolve. Any direct conflict over Taiwan would immediately drag in the world's 2 largest economies and the most advanced militaries on Earth. The economic consequences would be catastrophic, far beyond anything seen in recent history. The Taiwan Strait is not just a body of water. It is the most dangerous geopolitical flashpoint of our time. If China decides to move against Taiwan, there are several possible scenarios, each with catastrophic consequences. A simple blockade without full invasion could be enough to paralyze the global semiconductor supply chain. Since Taiwan produces over 90% of the most advanced chips, even a few weeks of disruption would cause immediate shortages in smartphones, computers, cars, and AI systems worldwide. A full-scale invasion would be even more devastating. It would risk direct military conflict between China and the United States, along with its allies. The human and economic cost would be staggering, potentially the largest military conflict since World War II.